Hello, dear listener. Thank you for joining me on another episode of Radio Clinic on Pensioners 106.7 FM, where we bring the clinic right to you. My name is Yetunde Oke. Hope you're having a wonderful day out there. Once again, welcome to Radio Clinic on Pensioners 106.7 FM. To watch us live, you can subscribe to our YouTube page, Pensioners 106.7, and just you can subscribe, like, and also watch us live. And for sponsorship and advert placement, you can visit us at Pensioners House at Agbari Goniweki for more enquiries. But as usual, before we start the ball rolling for today, let's take a short break. We'll be back. Please stay tuned.
She wanted to pay a fee. She needed to survive. And someone told her, just donate your eggs. It's quick money. But they never told her about the pain.
Abdominal cramps that won't go away, mood swings, bleeding, breast tenderness, ovarian hyperstimulation syndrome, and other infections are health implications. Infertility, the fear of never being able to have a children one day, is a long-term effect.
Dear sisters, your body is not for sale. Egg donation is not a side hustle. It's a serious medical procedure with risk they won't tell you about. And to those recruiting young girls, stop. This is not help, it's harm. Young girls, your dreams are valid. Your health is priceless. Say no to dangerous egg donation practices.
This message is brought to you by Pensioners 106.7 FM.
From malaria. To prevent the spread of malaria, ensure that every child in your family sleeps inside a mosquito net every night all year round. Always test all fevers in your children before you start treating them for malaria. All children have the right to access quality healthcare services. Avoid unnecessary self-medication.
Ibà jẹ́ àìsàn tó lè ṣekú pani. Abo ẹ̀fọn ló ń fa àìsàn ibà. Àwọn ọmọdé tí ọjọ́ orí wọn kò tó ọmọ ọdún 5 ni wọ́n ń dojú kọ jàǹbá àìsàn ibà jùlọ. Gẹ́gẹ́ bí àkọsílẹ̀ WHO ní ọdún 2019, ó fẹ́ tó 750 ní iye àwọn ọmọ tí ibà ń ṣekú pa lójoojúmọ́. Láti dènà ibà, rí wípé gbogbo ọmọdé ní ìdílé rẹ̀ ń sùn sínú àpò apẹ̀fọn lálaalẹ́ yípo ọdún. Ẹ máa ṣe àyẹ̀wò gbogbo ara gbígbóná kí ẹ tó ṣe ìtọ́jú ibà. Gbogbo ọmọdé ló ní ẹ̀tọ́ sí ètò ìlera tó yè koro. Ẹ yẹra fún lílo oògùn tí akọ́ṣẹ́mọṣẹ́ kò fọwọ́ sí.
Tuberculosis no be play, oh. Protect yourself, protect yourself. If you dey cough more than 2 weeks, oh, no just stay go check am quick, oh. No be witch, no be cause. Na TB fit be the cause. If it spread when person cough, or when them sneeze or when them talk, but to get cure, no lose hope, doctor go help you, no be joke. Baby, no be play, oh. Speak up. If you get TB, take your meds. Yes. No stop halfway, make it end. Wash your hands, keep your place clean.
Remember, TB no be play. Protect yourself, protect your zone. This message is brought to you by Ibechuleki General Hospital, Akodo, Lagos, Nigeria.
Supported and brought to you by Pensioners FM.
Depression, which is often a gateway to suicidal thoughts and tendencies. Take 2. Depression, is often a gateway to societal thoughts and tendencies. Sometimes the signs of depression can also be
Ribi, nice. Atikewa and Arabambi. Without doctor's prescription, Montenma, call on doctor's attention if you need solution. Montenma, so much is given, much is expected. Ilera love, much is ilera love. Live long and stay strong.
Thank you for staying tuned. If you're just joining us, this is Radio Clinic on Pensioners 106.7 FM. And to watch us live, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel, Pensioners FM 106.7, to watch us live. And today we'll be looking at suicide prevention. And my guest who will be doing justice to today is already seated with me in the studio. But before I introduce him, every year on the 10th of September, which is tomorrow, is World Suicide Prevention Day. And organizations, communities around the world come together to raise awareness of how we can create across Africa. There has been a silent and rising epidemic of suicide among students and other cross-section of youths. A World Health Organization, WHO, estimate places the suicide rate for Nigeria at 13.3% per 100,000 population, as against a global average of 10.3% per. Notes, let me introduce my guest. My guest is from the Red Cross Society of Nigeria, Oyo State branch. I have with me their Protective Gender and Inclusion Focal Person. Good evening.
Good evening, Ma.
His name is Mr. Akinyemi Makinde. Good evening.
Good evening.
It's good to have you on the program.
Thank you very much.
So how is everybody at the Red Cross?
We're doing fine.
And kudos to you guys.
Thank
kudos
you.
to you for your humanitarian, service to humanity. We appreciate your efforts.
Thank you very much.
So welcome once again on the program. So we are looking at suicide prevention, and tomorrow is actually World Preventive
Protection Day.
World Suicide Prevention Day, yeah, and it is marked, globally on every 10th of September, which is tomorrow.
Okay.
Hence the need why we still have a large number of people who commit suicide on a daily, basis. So, and we need to advocate against this. No matter what anyone is going through, we have to, encourage them to stay alive. So, moving on, can you, elaborate or tell us what suicide is all about? What's the act? What's that act of,
To develop a notion to intentionally kill themselves. Like, I'm tired of everything, and the summary of the next action I have to do or to take is to just kill myself with any type of way that I feel comfortable with. I just want to let it go. So the best option at the moment for them to take when they get to that point, they don't want to take any other option anymore. That is their last
even
option.
if they have options.
Even if they do have, they might not, even at that point, because they are psychologically down, they don't even see the other options in whatever they think they are feeling at that time.
Okay, so why do people resort to, taking their own life?
Different reasons and factors are fused into reasons why people commit suicide. But majorly, it might be due to traumatic experience, unbearable pain. It can also be due to sexual abuse, different things like that. mental instability too. When you have mental health challenge, like bipolar disorder, mental instability, different things like that can actually make people commit suicide.
Okay, what about the economic situation?
Yeah, the economic situation can also be one of the major reasons why people, this thing is, if care is not taken, right, individual self have the tendency of committing suicide because of overwhelming situation. But because most of us have the coping capacity, so we tend to say, oh, no, suicide is not an option, so I'm not going to tend to that side. I'm going to take it this way. But some individuals who has low coping capacity, when they feel like everything is at the end, they feel like, okay, it's just to commit suicide. And it might be due to traumatic experience, unbearable pain, loss of loved ones. All of those things can add up to reasons for them to say, I'm just going to die.
So it's good to be nice to anyone we see because you don't know what he or she...
Honestly, I think we all need to be more human than any other thing. Add together religion, finance and all that. We all need to just be more human, because when we see somebody with with suicidal thoughts, or somebody would commit suicide, we just feel like, oh, you shouldn't have died now. We are all in Nigeria together now. So why passing through traumatic experiences, all of those things I mentioned earlier. Some other things like environment, like you said, financial status, the situation of the country. Maybe they are in a very unsafe place. You never can tell. Everybody is just wearing clothes and everybody.
Thank you for that. And I think there's something common now these days because of the era of social media that we are now. We hear of cyberbullying, people bullying people on social media, and as a result of that,
it's something that we actually need to take serious. I think the government too are doing well, but maybe they need to put more effort into scrutinizing some of these things, because it's even better for now we have categories of persons, millennial, Gen Z and all that. It's even better for the older generations to cope with, because they have more of emotional IQ, or what's that thing called, emotional quotient.
Okay.
But the new generation now, they barely even have it. So any small thing gets to them.
Triggers them.
And people who are bullying you, you can't see them. They don't know exactly, allowing whatever they say now be what makes you to make the wrong decision. So in two ways now, cyberbullying is something that needs to be controlled. Seriously needs to be controlled. But at the same time, as individuals, we should make sure that these things are never getting to us. And that is why whatever we are going to be projecting out there, even on our own space, even on our social medias, we should be very careful not to generate things that will lead to cyberbullying. Because if we take precautions on our own, it will also limit what will come to us. So I think that's...
Okay. All right. Moving on. So what are the methods people use in committing suicide?
So many methods. As long as they find it comfortable, they just want to... Sometimes it's not even like they want to commit the suicide intentionally. Sometimes it just be an idea that just spring up.
Okay.
And just because they have the idea, they just want to practicalize. They just want to see how it is. Not because they really want to die. And they use so many ways. For some, they just self-harm. For some, they want to use firearm. Excuse me. For some, thank you. For some, they just want to jump from an height. A very tall building, they just go to the top and boom, they want to jump down. They might be feeling like, it's an idea that just pop up in their head. And at that time, they are not in control of most of their senses to say, okay, I'm not going to do this again. So by the time they are realizing it, they're already like into it already. So in different ways, some people overdose of drugs, drug abuse. They might even increase their dose. Some people that drink alcohol, they might just say, okay, today I'm just going to, somebody that normally their limit is 2 bottles. Now say I want to try it. You know your body already, but just because it's an idea that pop up in your head, and if you try it, it will work to die. Not like it's for something good. So things like this are ways people just used to, kill themselves.
Okay, but is there anything like accidental suicide? Suicide?
Well, yeah.
Not unknowingly, just maybe
on-
due to
on-
overdose.
Unknowingly, well, some can be accidental, but I feel like for you to have accidental suicide, something would have led to something.
Okay.
You can't just say just because you pick up. Normally, for example, if you are to use drug, you know that it has to be a prescribed drug. But now you are not following the right channel. You are trying to probably self-medicate, and you choose the wrong drug. You know, some drugs are actually categorized into poisons.
Sure.
Not because they're actually poison,
Poison.
but because the wrong use of it can lead to poison. If you use that kind of thing, you kill yourself. So that kind of accident can happen.
So we need to be more careful.
Exactly.
All right. So what are the signs one should look out for as an individual that is okay? Maybe an individual that is suicidal might not want to take note of those signs, but those around such person, what are the signs, to look out for?
See, these signs, they are very, very important because we see them, we hear them, but we don't most times take note of it. If somebody just come up with a speech like, I think I'm tired, I just want to die. I just want to like hibernate for like 3 days. See, words like this are not normal. Or somebody that is very hyperactive or very proactive is just suddenly withdrawing. Somebody that that in the family, before you say anything, they're already there to probably make contributions or make plans, and the person is just slow, or they are not even ready to associate with anything at all. At that point, you should be noticing that something is not
wrong.
right. Something is not right. It could also be that probably they've had maybe a medical condition,
Okay.
and they are not ready to have an open conversation with anybody. And the best thing they feel they can do is just to be silent. Or sometimes it might be like somebody who has gone through a series of depression stage is now suddenly very, very calm. That is not normal. Of course, somebody who has passed through depression will be like, okay, they need to reintegrate themselves back to their normal self. But this time around, they are just very unusually calm. At that point, you should know that something is not right. It's that they are already having the idea, or they are just waiting for the right time to take action.
Okay, so that those are some signs that.
Yes.
Okay, what about withdrawal symptom?
We have
mentioned that. Okay.
Withdrawal from this environment. Sometimes it might even be food disorder. Sometimes it might comes with serious sleeping problem, where that maybe because they hallucinate, they feel some things, they hear some things that normally is not there. When they start to do all of these things, they are showing you that something is about
wrong.
to go down, but we don't even see it. Sometimes it might be somebody who is self-harming themselves, and you are not even taking note of bruises on their body. A child that normally, that this child has caution. Once you say don't go there, is that don't go there that they want. Where you say they should not go is where they are now going consistently. Something is not right. It might be due to something that you are not checking out.
So at that point in time, what should you as a support system do?
Okay, so once you see some of these signs, it is best that at that point, you yourself should start checking for safety first.
Oh, okay.
Safety comes first.
Okay.
Anything that can help them kill themselves, knife, razor blade, chemicals, take it away completely.
Okay.
Because you never can tell. A child, for example, let's say for a child that is always an individual that is always locking themselves in the room, and you are saying, yeah, we want to eat, or you don't come out, and the child will take the food and still go back inside without you checking what exactly is happening. Such a child might end up killing themselves, hanging themselves or anything. So anything that you feel like is going to help them to commit the suicide more, take it all away. Safety should be the first thing. Then allow open conversation. I think our parents need to do more when it comes to this.
Communication.
Communication is very, very important, and we have different types of communication. We have aggressive communication, we have passive communication, we have assertive communication. So the best type of communication to use for somebody who is at that stage is to make sure that we are using an assertive communication where you actually let out the feeling.
Okay.
But also when they are trying to, come to talk, you now do what we call look and listen. When in psychology first aid, that 3 steps are very, very important. Look, listen, and link. That's the 3L. Now, if you are looking out for the symptoms. Is this person having anything related to suicide? Are they withdrawing from the society? Are they unusually calm? Are they more hyperactive? Whatever the case may be, try to look out for the person and their safety. And then you can now actively listen to whatever they have to say. Don't in any way shut out the person. Because the moment if they are coming with one complaint and you shut them out, the other original ones that they actually want to say, they will not say it again. So by the time you shut them out, they feel like, even my parents, or even the person I trust, or even the person I believe I can talk to is already shutting me. So what's the next thing? I'm going to kill myself. So we have to listen. So we have to look, then listen, actively link, and then we can now link. When we are linking, that is when we can now say, okay, maybe the situation is complex or complicated, and we feel like there is a limit to what we can do. We might need to, go to a psychologist, go to a physician, or need a therapist, a psychotherapist. We can actually do all of that. But as individual also, when we see some of these symptoms, we as first aiders, we do what we call psychoeducation. Psychoeducation is where you let them know some common feelings that can actually come when you start feeling suicidal. Common feelings of rejection, feelings of failure, feelings of like I'm not even there at all. All those feelings will come. So when we know that this person is already having suicidal thoughts, or probably they are able to open up to a point, then you can start educating them on, at this point you might start feeling like this. At this point you might start getting this kind of notion in your head. No, don't feel like this. This is the right way. This is the coping capacity. This is how best to undo it. So that is one. Then another thing I want to say is, there are some things you should never say to somebody. Stigma is another very serious thing. Just because somebody wants to commit suicide, you now feel like, this person is out of this world. There are some things we should never say. Don't tell such a person with such notion to say, can you imagine? You want to die. You are very selfish. Or you are not even strong. Or what's there that you want to kill yourself for? You see all of those words. Or you say, you are a weakling. You need to be strong for yourself. All those words that we are saying, to us, we are trying to encourage them. But in reality, we are just, it's like we are putting petrol in fire. We are just helping them to aggravate whatever feeling they are having at that point. So these things should not be said in any way. Don't say, you should be strong now. Should be you are a man. This one is even common to men. And if you look at the statistics, you notice that men commit suicide
more than women.
So if you are telling somebody you are a man now, that you are a man is what is leading him to that point where he needs to make that terrible decision. And so care needs to be taken especially when we utter those words, because we utter them without even realizing the consequence that is bringing to the person.
Okay, so I just want to ask, in your line of profession, have you encountered people who were suicidal? Have you rescued and all of that?
A lot.
Okay, can you share some experience?
There was a time I met somebody who has bipolar disorder. Okay, so this person, they are in like 2 categories. They have their hyper mode and their hypo mode. So when they are in their hyperactive state, they do things exceptionally good. You won't even believe they have such problem. And funny thing is, they are not mad. They are not crazy. It's just that thing. It's not curable, but it's manageable. Now, when they are in their hypo state, they say things that you won't believe an human can say. For example, somebody will tell you, this might be something general, but for them it's different. You are in a conversation talking about relationship, and this person is saying, I want my family, husband family to die, all the in-laws to die before even meeting them.
Okay, that's a psychological problem.
You are now beginning to wonder, how? Why? Then no, I'm coming somewhere.
Okay.
Then later, maybe the same conversation comes up, and the person is saying, I'm going to be very caring with my mother-in-law. I'm going to be. Now begin to, are you having two individuals and one person? It is because they are in different states of mind. At the point they are in their active state, at the point they are in their low state. And it's always
can that be multiple personal disorder?
Different things add up to bipolar disorder.
Okay.
It's a very serious case that needs to be looked into. So when they are in that state, you will see them doing things exceptionally. If they want to be wicked, they will be wicked exceptionally. If they want to be very good, very caring, very loving, they will do it exceptionally. It is because of the bipolar disorder. Now, such people, you need patience. A lot of patience to actually even. And when you are coming close to them, you are not coming close to hear everything at once.
Okay.
There's something with active listening. When you want to listen, don't help them to presume.
Okay.
Don't help them to assume.
Okay.
Let them by themselves come close and say what they want to say. Because by the time you start to, help them say what they don't want to say, or help them say what you think they want to say, you will get the wrong answers to your questions. And at that time, they might even be getting to a point of, this person I'm talking about actually tried to, commit suicide many times. Overuse of drugs, ampiclos, basically. Like, use so many of it just to die. God saves her. She didn't die. The next time, she tried crossing the road in an abnormal way. And then the next time, before me, I now came into the picture. She tried to jump into the well.
Wow.
Yeah, it can be that serious. When you now ask, why are you doing these things? They don't know. But after all of my own analysis and assessment and all of that, and research, I found out that most often, something is always triggering. Okay. There's always something, either a secret that they have not let out, either a feeling that they are not ready to express, or something else that is making them to feel like that. So if you are going to work with somebody who has a suicidal thoughts in them, you have to be patient, you have to be very understanding, no push, no rush.
Okay.
Allow them to come gradually. And then, when they need help, try to slowly make referral. Because the help they might need might be beyond your own, capacity. So, know your limits.
Okay.
Even when you're trying to help, know your limits. Okay. By the time you know your limits, it will help you to actually make good decisions for them. Sometimes it might actually be the one to make the decision for them.
Okay.
And if they are in still a good state of mind, you can also let them tell you how they want to be cared for.
Okay.
So these are some of the ways to manage them. Another very good thing that we do is that every time we do awareness, like some years back, I think 2022, we did work on suicide.
Okay.
We had a work where we entered into the community and we sensitized them about being able to speak out. We tell them, talk, suicide is not an option. We did that. And then every time we have chance to talk about mental health,
okay.
We do awareness on mental health and we tell them how to cope with situations, building resilience and all of that. And then another thing is, we try to, there's a course called psychosocial support, that's PSS.
Okay.
It's under psychology first aid. So anybody that has undergone that part can do basic lay counseling.
Okay.
Like, okay, this person is coming to me. I already know how best I can,
attend to such
person. Not like we are the professional psychologists. That's why I said we should know our limits. So by the time they come, we allow them speak. Not like we want to, really hear their story because it's interesting.
Okay.
Sometimes when you are hearing things from these people, you feel like, wow, you did that. No,
don't do that.
Don't do that. Allow them speak. Then you actively listen. Okay. And then by the time you listen well, you can now make assessments and now know when you need to come up. If they need emotional support from families and friends, maybe due to rejections, you know what to do. If they need a mental expert to come into their head, you know. If changing the environment is what they need, because that might even be the only solution they need sometimes. So you can always know exactly what to do and how best to help them while you make your referral.
Okay, for victims that keep to themselves, that cut off attachment and communication with people around them, how do you handle such people?
No matter the situation, they always have somebody. They always have somebody
they rely on,
who they can talk to,
okay,
who they rely on. But you might not know at the point. So the best way is, like I said, moving closer to somebody who has a suicidal thought or who is about to commit suicide. It takes a lot of patience. It takes a lot of cautious efforts. So by the time you are moving close to them, don't push for that closeness. Don't push for it. Just take it slow.
Okay.
Let them by themselves, when they are comfortable, come close. And don't ignore any sign. Any sign that is pointing to suicide, don't ignore. I feel like I just want to go off for like 3 days. Don't ignore. They are dropping notes. They are selling their belongings. These are some of the symptoms that you see. Somebody that that they cherish PS, their PS station. Now they just want to sell off. Or TV, or selling all of these things. It is not normal. So at that point, don't ignore any of the warning signs. It is a warning sign that I'm just about to get ready to commit the suicide. So don't ignore that, and then slowly move to them, actively listen, and then look at the situation they are in. Anyhow you feel they needed help, that is where you come in. So even if they are cutting off communication, they cannot totally just cut off everything. That is why you are there as an expert to come close to them. You know the best way to come close. It's not by telling them, "Maybe you are a man."
All right, thank you so much. But before we move on, let's take a break. We'll be back. Please stay tuned.
You wanna stay strong. You wanna live long and stay strong. Rock it off, anyone wanna live long and stay strong. Along over to you. Rock it off, anyone.
She wanted to pay her fee. She needed to survive. And someone told her, just donate your eggs. It's quick money. But they never told her about the pain.
Abdominal cramps that won't go away, mood swings, bleeding, breast tenderness, ovarian hyperstimulation syndrome, and other infections are health implications. Infertility, the fear of never being able to have a children one day, is a long-term effect.
Dear sisters, your body is not for sale. Egg donation is not a side hustle. It's a serious medical procedure with risk they won't tell you about. And to those recruiting young girls, stop. This is not help, it's harm. Young girls, your dreams are valid. Your health is priceless. Say no to dangerous egg donation practices.
This message is brought to you by Pensioners 106.7 FM.
ó ní owó iléèwé láti san bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ló ní bùkátà lọ́rùn láti gbọ́. ẹnìkan wá gbà á mọ̀ràn pé tó bá fẹ́ rówó wùrìwùrì kó ta eyín rẹ̀ tó ń dọmọ lára obìnrin, ṣùgbọ́n wọn ò sọ ewu tó lè tẹ̀yìn ẹ̀ yọ fún un.
àwọn ewu ọ̀hún ni inú kíkan àtìgbàdégbà láàkó nǹkan oṣù tàbí lákòókò ìrọbí, àyípadà nínú ìṣesí, dídà ẹ̀jẹ̀ lára, kí ọyàn máa dunni, àwọn ìdojúkọ tó lè dènà rọbí àti àwọn ìpèníjà míì tó lè bá ìlera fínra.
ẹ̀yin ọ̀dọ́mọbìnrin, ara yín ò kì í ṣe fún títà. ẹyin tó ń dọmọ lára obìnrin kì í ṣe ọ̀nà àti rówó nítorí ewu tó pọ̀ ńbẹ̀ tí wọn ò ní sọ fún yín. bákan náà, ẹ̀yin tí ẹ̀ ń rọ àwọn obìnrin láti máa ta ẹyin, ẹ jáwọ́ torí ipò léwu.
ìwọ ọ̀dọ́mọbìnrin,
àlá rẹ wúlò, ìlera rẹ ṣe iyebíye, sọ pé rárá sí ìfi ẹyin tó ń dọmọ lára obìnrin fúnni lọ́nà tó léwu. ìkéde yìí wá láti iléeṣẹ́ Pensioners 106.7 FM.
Nice. I take you on Arabam. You wanna stay strong. You wanna live long and stay strong. Rock it off, anyone wanna live long and stay strong. Along over to you. Rock it off, anyone. Ogun billion for the new son. What are you our doctor's precision. Montenman, call on doctor's attention if you need solution. Montenman, so much is given, much is expected.
Thank you for staying tuned. And if you are just joining us, this is still Radio Clinic on Pensioners 106.7 FM. And you can also subscribe to our YouTube channel to watch us live at Pensioners FM 106.7. So moving on. So someone has committed suicide, but he or she is still very alive. How can a first responder, help out in this situation?
Okay, so to help out, the first thing we need to do is, if we are there where the situation happens, majorly just follow basic routine, checking if they are conscious or unconscious. If they are conscious, that's another case. But if they are unconscious, bring them back to life first by performing CPR. We know what CPR is, cardiopulmonary resuscitation. Once they are back, at that point, we don't have to say, why did you do this? That is not the right time for questioning. Let them be fine. Take them to the hospital. Let them be checked if they are fine. After they are fine, now you can start to, teach them coping mechanisms, hearing their story. That's the first thing. And then looking out for their own safety. Like I said from the beginning, that's the first step actually. You look out for their safety. What other things can actually, because if they are fine and you just say, now they are fine, just go. You never can tell. They might go home and say, this one did not work, let me try another thing. So look out for their safety. Are they in the environment where they are prone to, seeing things that can even make them repeat that action? If they are prone to such, then there's a need for a change. If they are in a house where they are seeing knives everywhere, they are seeing fork everywhere, things that can actually harm them, then we should know that no, this is not the place. So we should look out for safety for them. Now, once they are safe, the next thing is let's allow them talk, communication. Once they start to talk, then from whatever they say, you can now make your assessment to say, okay, this is the next thing to do. From whatever they say is where you actually have to come in. And when you are coming in, like I said, you are not coming in to self-blame. You are not coming in to judge. You are never to judge. You've not been there. You are not there. Sure. So don't be the judge. And then when they are ready to speak up, allow them speak up and take it calmly. Now, another thing is you can strengthen their support system. Family, friends, neighbors. You have to just make sure that these people are supportive. And if you have a family where they are not supportive, you can change. Because some family, different situation for different persons. And then last, you cannot start to teach coping mechanisms. This is the best way to do this. This is you've already assessed the situation. You know what they need exactly. So you cannot start teaching them how to skillfully, make use of their strength rather than the weaknesses they feel they have, to now help them to integrate back to who they really are. So.
Okay, so you mentioned CPR the other time, and I think I've heard some doctors saying that it is important for everyone to know how to perform CPR. Can you emphasize on that?
Okay, so CPR is called cardiopulmonary resuscitation. In a layman language, heart, lungs coming back to their normal functionality. Okay, so to do that, the process is, chest compression, basically. Chest compression. You bring your hand close to, in between the breastplates, and then make the heel of your palm with the non-active hand, which is your left hand. Depends on the non-active hand for you. Then make it stay in between the breastplates. Then you now interlock and then make compression 30 times. Then you do 2 artificial respiration, or mouth to mouth, or kiss of life, any you want to call it. Then when you do that, you make it a consistent move, like it's in a progression. Once you do 30 to 32, and that 30 chest compression has to be done in 18 to 20 seconds. Why? Because the rhythms of your compression has to be on the equal You understand what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
It has to be at a progression.
Okay.
So you don't have to be too fast or too
Too
slow.
slow.
Because what happens when somebody is unconscious is blood is not getting to the brain. There's no supply of blood to the heart.
Heart, okay.
Now, when those two things, the vein and the artery, one is the artery is taking oxygenated blood, the vein is taking deoxygenated blood. So the two have to concurrently supply blood to the brain and also to the heart. So when you are too fast now, the blood will just be moving, will not get to either of the two. When you are too slow, the blood will just be moving and coming back. So, but when you are at a pace of the same level,
Okay.
then
It'll flow
it
at
will
the same time.
easily, flow at the same time, and then the person will come back to life.
Okay. Okay, before we move on, thank you for staying tuned. And if you're just joining us, we are looking at suicide prevention today. And my guest, Mr. Akinyemi Makinde, the Protection, Gender and Inclusion Focal Person from Red Cross Oyo State Branch, has been doing wonderfully well, on how we can prevent suicide. In case you have someone around you, this is a program for you, to enlighten you on how to prevent such person. And if you are that person, if you are the victim, this program is also for you, to encourage you that there is more, to life. So if you have questions, you can call us on 0706 639 1367 or 0907 285 2977, 0706 639 1367 or 0907 285 2977. So while we wait for calls, is suicide preventable? Can we prevent
Yes,
suicide?
by taking cautious efforts, you can prevent measure. I think one of the best way to prevent suicide is to have an encourage people to have open conversation.
Okay.
When you encourage them to actually speak out, it helps them. There's a saying that says a problem shared is a problem half solved. So when you start to speak up, though it is not very easy because of stigmatization, misunderstanding and all of that. So, but like personally, I used to advise that if you want to talk to somebody, it doesn't necessarily have to be somebody you feel this person is the Almighty. I don't know if you understand that in code. Look for somebody who is mature enough to hear what you want to say without judging you, without being judgmental. Because one of the risks of talking to just anybody is being judgmental. And when people start to be judgmental about the situation that is about to lead to your committing suicide, they've already 90% killed that person without even considering any other factors. So making cautious effort to have open conversation. It might be a family member, it might be a pastor, it might be a friend, and I think one of the things we encourage more is to have serious friends. And like I said, don't ignore the warning signs. Somebody who is very hyperactive and always laughing, that does not mean they have it all rosy. Check in on people. When we try to cautiously be human, like I said from the beginning, it makes us to see things from every other person's perspective, and that will also help us to make cautious efforts in helping them. So it is very in fact, by the time you start to speak up, that will even make us to understand that, okay, this person needs more of, it might be due to loneliness, it might be due to a whole lot of things. Loneliness, rejection, loss of loved one, illness that are unbearable, different things, traumatic experience, sexual exploitation and abuse, different things like that can come up to leading to suicide. So by the time they start to speak up, now, you that they want to talk to, we as individual that somebody is ready to talk to, don't be judgmental, listen actively, be patient enough with them, don't be in a rush, and then make cautious efforts to help them. Don't just help them to gain. That is another problem. People exploit the weakness. Oh, he's about to commit suicide. Well, don't make your own effort so that you can gain
from it.
Because by the time you do that, what they are trying to run away from, it might even be such situation that leads to making that kind of decision. So if you yourself that they think you are in having such capacity to listen emotionally, you are emotionally strong to listen, and you are the one trying to exploit the weaknesses, then you have not done any good job. So don't do your own part just to exploit or just to gain. Rather, cautiously try to, listen and help them wholeheartedly, just like you would do for yourself. Another thing is, by the time you are listening, let them feel like we are in this together. I'm ready to help, and we're in this together, so that it will be easier for you to get informations. Not because you want to go and then another thing. Very, very important. Learn how to keep confidentiality. That's a very serious one, because if you think you're emotionally strong, then you've not heard some stories. Myself as a person, I know of people I've met and they told me things that they are unbelievable. At that point, I knew that talking to somebody will not help, because for this person to have trusted me with this kind of information, then they are relying solely on me. So it's like I'm holding their life. So if I should make any careless effort with or careless action with whatever I've gotten from them, then I'm ruining the person's life. You understand? So when you are trying to play your own part, make sure that confidentiality is not breached for any reason. They are trusting you with their life. So, and when you are trying to help too, sometimes, in fact most times, you should get their consent before you refer them for help. You know that this person needs a psychological attention. You can't just outrightly say, we need to read psychiatrist. No. Nobody will want to accept that.
They might feel that, are you calling me mad?
Exactly, stigma. You are already stigmatizing them from the beginning. So when you want to do your own part, you need to be very deliberate about it, and with caution. I'm using that word, with caution, because even if you give a negative reaction to what you hear, they might not trust you again. So emotional stability is also very important. And that is one of the things anybody who is in that situation should look out for. The person I want to talk to, how emotionally stable
is
are
that
they?
person?
What is the attitude of this person for some of these attributes that I'm already putting on? When they look out for this, they will know the right person to talk to, and that person will also be able to help them as it is.
Okay, so before we go, because we have to go, I will need you to advise, maybe there's someone out there, that is having suicidal thoughts, and he or she is listening to this program, or someone that has been suicidal before and is still planning, to repeat that act. How can you encourage them?
Okay, so I want to say that life on its own is a twist. It comes to everybody. So you are not alone in this journey, and with the help of God and the help of man, you can always overcome every and any situation. Just believe in yourself again, trust in yourself again, and seek help. Talk to somebody. Most importantly, talk to somebody who is very emotionally stable enough to hear you out and also render help. So at the end of the day, you will look back and you'll be happy again. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Akiyemi Makinde, the Protection, Gender and Inclusion Focal Person from Red Cross Oyo State Branch. Thank you so much for today's enlightenment.
You're welcome.
I really learned a lot, and I believe my listener out there also learned a lot from today's topic. Thank you to my producer, Babatunde Tiamiyu. Thank you to Farouk for handling the console and the camera. And dear listener, please, there is more to life than taking your life. So stay alive out there. It is well. And this is all becoming the day on today's episode of Radio Clinic on Pensioners 106.7 FM. Join me same time, same station next week. My name is Yetunde. Okay, bye for now.